Are you going to another meeting again? Are you going to take me to soccer practice?
Are you going to finally spend time with me?
That hurts, right? And you say, I'm doing all this for you. I'm doing all this so you can have a better life than the life that I had growing up. Right, parents? You understand that? So this is something that we have done that could help you with your kids. We call it the talk with the people that you love. Could be your spouse, right? We bring the kids in and say, hey kids, mommy and daddy over the next 90 days, we got a big goal ahead of us. We got a big target ahead of us. Maybe you want to hit a rank in your company, a prize, something in your company. You go, hey kids, we're going to do this in the next 90 days so that we can hit a prize or hit a rank. Now kids, tell us, we want you to support us, and what do you want? One kid may say, hey, if you guys hit the target, can I go to Disneyland? Yes, you can go to Disneyland. Another kid could be like, hey, if you guys hit the target, can you take us to the NBA game to watch LA Lakers win another championship?
Or buy this toy?
Or buy this toy? Or my daughter could be like, hey, can mommy and I go for a mommy and daughter day flying somewhere, right? Give them that prize, because when you give them that prize, that benefit, it helps with the behavior during this process or during this 90 days. We've done this multiple times. On Zoom, I'm waiting for my Laker game. Oh, hey mom, aren't you supposed to be calling someone? We will have to go on our mommy and daughter day. So the behavior is dictated by the benefit. Now everyone out there, let me give you another example. How many of you out there does not like your boss? How many are there? Be honest, does not like your boss. And during a job interview, how was your behavior? During your job interview, how was your behavior? Why? Because you have to be on your best behavior, because the benefit is you're going to get a job and you're going to get paid. You know, sometimes we go out on weekends and we have a little bit too much fun and we sleep really late on Sunday night, but what do Monday morning? You wake up to that alarm that you don't want to hear. You get ready for work that you don't want to go to maybe, and you see the person that you don't want to see, your boss maybe. Why? Because of the benefit that you get, right? So let's bring that into this business. Bring that into this business. What are the benefits? Now example, when Natina and this may, guys might understand this. Ladies, I don't know what you do, but I'll give you from a guy perspective. I'll tell you about the benefit and behavior. I remember dating this young, beautiful lady in the beginning. I was on the best behavior, right, Natina?
Was.
No, she was.
Past tense.
But I'll be like, hey, we could be walking on the beach, and she'll be like, hey, honey, I'm a little bit cold. Man, this jacket was out in an instant over her to keep her warm. Now, it's still the same. I'm just saying. It's still the same, right, Natita?
Sure. Just like right before this recording, I say I'm freezing. He's like, oh.
But, hey, maybe now you could be, married, 3 kids a little bit later, but you're walking down the beach, and she goes, what do you say?
I'm cold. I'm freezing.
And I go, I told you to get your jacket from the car.
You meant. You're
about the behavior for the benefit, right? So how can this help you? I want you to change the perspective of what you see in front of you. Guys out there, you know what? Failure is part of winning. Failure is part of winning. And I want you to have the right perspective. I've seen it so many times. Choose your mindset. Choose the right perspective. Your perspective can put you in prison or can power you. Look, in every company, there are people winning and there's people losing. In every company, there's people coming in, there's people going out. That's part of the business. Now, what is your perspective? Are you focusing on the people going out? Guess what? You're going out. Are you focused on the people hitting the next rank? Guess what? You get to go to the next rank. So you have to control your perspective to help you win, help empower you so that you can focus on the right behavior to get your benefits.
You know, that I just want to end with this, everyone. You're willing to accept. If you're like, you know what, at this small little rank, that's all I'm going to be at, and I'm going to maybe some of you, most of you, haven't failed before. And now we're like, bring it on, failure. Why? Because we have learned through personal development, like Chad said, let that action, let that consequence create the correct perspective for you. Either it imprisons you and makes you feel like a failure, or you say, yes, I just found one way how not to do something. That just reminded me, Thomas Edison. They asked him point blank, hey Thomas, Mr. Edison, how did it feel to fail 10,000 times? He's like, I didn't fail 10,000 times. I found 10,000 ways that it did not work. That's it. You know? So it's just about changing your perspective. Let it be something that empowers you. Step up. Be able to say, this is a moment in my life today that I'm standing up for myself. And I'm standing up for my family. And I'm standing up for my husband, my loved ones, my friends, myself. To say this is no longer happening in my life anymore, period. That I deserve more. That I deserve change. I deserve transformation. And enough is enough. You know, impossible is not a fact. It is not impossible. Impossible. The word impossible is not a fact. It is purely an opinion. It is only impossible until someone does it first. Then you realize, you know, even people who are like, that's scientifically impossible. How many times on Earth has something scientifically impossible been proven wrong?
Yep.
Then after that, there's all this science to back it up to show how it can happen. You know, I'm inviting all of you, today, to not only raise your standards, but to step out of your comfort zone. Too many people stay within their comfort zone, which leads to an uncomfortable life. Mm-hmm. Rather than stepping out of their comfort zone in order to lead a comfortable life.
Wow.
Which one would you guys rather have? You know, that's why we're here to say, use this time. Be on purpose. Have a purpose-driven life. Be on purpose. When you're listening to all these powerful leaders who are you just listening and just writing random notes, or not listening and just eating food, or are you like really focused and saying, you know what, I am going to listen and I'm going to take action? Because just knowing all of this, just feeling it in your heart, in your mind, but without action, it's not going to lead you anywhere. Nowhere. I'm raising my standards in my head, but you're not taking actions for that? Why? We don't, the way myself and Chad lead, we like to lead unapologetically. We will tell you how it is. To say, dude, step up, take action. You say you want this, but your actions are not in alignment. Have alignment with your actions along with your standards, and you will witness and see everything change. You know, when we talk about action, you know, like a glass of water, half full. Sell the glass. Stop arguing. Stop trying to overthink things. The only way I remember, okay, you know what, when people say, oh gosh, all these leaders, they were born leaders. They're so lucky. You know, do you ever see income earner in the world? No. They just gave birth to a little baby or a little girl. It was through life, through training, through personal development that they grew to be person that they are today. When we first started out, I remember, even though we're second generation networkers, we started out so insecure. I remember like, we got rejected nonstop. We drove how many hours? Like 4 hours to a training that someone said there was gonna be 300 people there. We got our banners, we got our like drinks,
We borrowed products from friends because we thought we'll sell out.
Yes, and we got there, zero show. Actually, you know what? One person, and that one person, so many times. I felt like saying, you know what? They say apple doesn't fall far from the tree. You know, Nat and Shani, who are my parents, you know, like, yes, they're legends, but maybe it's not in my blood. You know, and I felt like a massive failure. But every single time we would, like, I remember we would punch each other like this while we're driving and saying, you know what? Next. SW, 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 next. Some will, some won't. So what? Next. Perspective or prison? We're saying, thank you, I just learned something. You know what? Feeling gives you confidence to stand up and say, this is how I'm gonna close. I used to hate closing, but now I'm obsessed with it because I know the lives we will change through this close. So I'm inviting every single one of you to change your standards, raise your standards, and take action towards it. And do that activity. Yes, tell the world, but do the activity. You know, it's what you do in private that you will be awarded for in public. So again, impossible is only an opinion. Go out and show the world what you can do. My name is Natita.
My name is Chad.
And we love you guys.
Love you guys.
Welcoming you guys to raise your standards.
Woo!
Hola, 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 ¿cómo está mi gente bella y hermosa? Es un placer para mí estar con ustedes aquí en Business for Home compartiendo pues un ligero entrenamiento, un ligero tip que puede ayudar para que crezca tu negocio. Y vamos a hablar de cómo despertar y perseguir una meta. Es importante que nosotros sepamos primero por qué voy a hacer esto. Tu por qué es importante que sepas por qué lo vas a hacer. ¿Cuál es tu por qué? Pero requieres buscar un porqué de a de veras, porque recuerda esto, cuando estés en tus momentos esos de que no hago nada, recuerdes tu porqué y lo quieres tener por escrito. ¿Por qué quieres hacer este negocio? Y no me vayas a poner porque quiero ganar mucho dinero, porque quiero otro estilo de vida. No, el por qué, el para qué. ¿Para qué quieres ese mucho dinero? ¿Qué quieres que tus hijos logren? Requieres hacer tu por qué. Quizá tu por qué sean tus padres, quizá tu por qué sea que en estos momentos no tienes una casa, no tienes que comer, quizá no has sido el padre perfecto para tus hijos porque obviamente hay muchas carencias. ¿Cuál es tu por qué? Y requieres hacerlo por escrito. Es importante, muchos de nosotros queremos hacer las cosas, reinventar la rueda, y quizá no tengas nada y cero de experiencia. Imagínate cuánto te va a llevar el tiempo de inventar y caer, inventar y caer. Es que si ya está empezarlo a poner por escrito. Paso número 2 es obtén las herramientas que tú necesitas. ¿Qué es lo que yo necesito? Primero que nada, si estás en una empresa de productos, requieres tener inventario. Si estás en una empresa de sistemas, requieres conocer todos los sistemas que están hablando. O sea, en pocas palabras, ¿cuál es la herramienta que tu empresa requiere o vende o promueve, como lo quieras entender? Porque para mí son ventas, para mí son ventas. El producto para mí es ventas. Ahora, conocerlo, tomarlo, si es producto o cualquier servicio que estés promoviendo, es tenerlo, conocerlo, disfrutarlo, saborearlo. Conocerlo a la perfección es tener la herramienta a la mano. Más aparte, requieres tener siempre tus notas, tu libreta para que anotes todo. La información, donde lleves una bitácora de todos tus clientes. Recuerda que la cartera de clientes es lo que hace poderoso tu negocio. Requieres tener todo lo que necesites a tu alcance, y realmente ahorita en estos momentos con ese teléfono inteligente, pues ahí mantenemos todos fotografías, qué sé yo, toda la herramienta que tu empresa tenga a la mano para ti, la tienes que conocer perfectamente y tenerla contigo. Una vez que ya tienes el plan, que ya tienes la herramienta, ahora lo que requieres es planear, crear un objetivo, crear en cuánto tiempo lo vas a hacer, en cuánto tiempo. Mira, para mí es importante que cuando tú conoces el plan, escalón por escalón, o sea, rango por rango o reconocimiento, como le llamen en tu empresa, requieres saber qué es lo que quieres y cuánto tiempo. Necesitas ponerle números, que tú le pones números, porque realmente el producto que más se mueve aquí son las personas. Entonces requieres poner números por personas. ¿Cuántas personas necesito para llegar a este rango? Para llegar a este rango. ¿Cuánto es el volumen que yo necesito? Distribúyelo en 6 meses, en 3 meses. El programa es mensual, divide el número mensual. ¿Entre cuántas semanas? 4. Y después que sacaste el volumen de 4 semanas, ¿cuánto le corresponde a cada semana? Después por 7 días o 5 días, si quieres descansar 2, tú decides, pero ponlo por escrito. Y una vez que tú sabes cuál es tu cuota diaria, va a ser más fácil que lo hagas. Apaláncate de las redes sociales, el promover tu empresa. ¿Cómo lo voy a promover? Por medio de tu historia, por medio de la historia de alguien más. Apaláncate de lo que ya tiene la empresa y manténlo contigo, para que cuando tú vayas a prospectar, compartas por qué estás haciendo este proyecto. Las redes sociales es un apalancamiento tremendo, donde tú puedes anunciar tu negocio, y ¿sabes qué es lo mejor? Que es gratuito, no pagas. Y bueno, también hay apalancamiento del cual tú puedes pagar, pero ahorita no quieras tirarle a los patos más grandes cuando tú estás haciendo tus pininos. Nosotros en México decimos, echando a perder se aprende. Así es que empieza a compartir. Pero es que yo nada más tengo mi familia, mis amigos, y todos me dijeron que no, ¿cómo le voy a hacer? Yo te voy a decir que esos son los últimos que yo toco. Yo prefiero el mercado frío. Como decimos, ni parientes somos, y me dicen no, ni me duele, nos seguimos adelante, ni los conozco. Y realmente no si sientas mal porque te dicen no a tu negocio. Recuerda esto, siempre hay 2 respuestas. Sí, gracias, no, gracias. Así es que ya sabes que si existe un sí, gracias, un no, gracias, pues ¿para qué te duele? ¿Sí me explico? No toda la gente va a ser para tu proyecto, mas sin embargo, si tú tienes un plan de prospectar, nuestro mentor dice 25 nos, sal a buscar todos los días, te aseguro que entre medio de esos 25 nos va a haber una persona que te diga sí. Ahora, ¿qué requieres una vez que ya tienes el objetivo? Disciplina, señores, sin disciplina no hay nada. La disciplina duele, molesta, no me gusta. ¿A quién le gusta ser disciplinado? Es más, muchos de nosotros hablamos de disciplina y pensamos que es un castigo. ¿Por qué? Porque relacionamos especialmente nosotros los latinos como que es algo que me duele, no me gusta, me espanta, me asusta, pero yo te digo que la disciplina es lo que te lleva a ti a los resultados. Y disciplina para mí es el compromiso que requieres tener tú para hacer tu negocio. Ahora, como te dije, requieres tener una meta. A las 8 de la mañana hasta las 10, mantente en ese horario. De las 10 a las 11 voy a hacer llamadas de seguimiento para mis clientes, mantente allí. Que si dijiste, ¿sabes qué? A las 11, a las 12 voy a hacer un Facebook Live, mantente allí y hazlo. Eso es lo que requieres tú hacer. Si lo haces por 21 días, te comprometes. Cuando tú empiezas a reconocer que disciplina es hacer lo que requieres hacer, todo se te va a hacer bien fácil. Y vas a dejar de estar en el papel de la víctima, que no quieren, que esto y que lo otro, porque ya sabes que sí o sí lo requiere. Si no hay disciplina, no hay resultados. Y obviamente, hacer lo que requerimos hacer molesta, duele, pero una vez que lo haces, se vuelve fácil. Y lo más importante es que celebres tus logros. Requieres celebrar tus logros. Es importante que cada cosa que tú hagas requieres celebrarlo. No solamente tus logros, sino los logros con la gente que duplicas lo que haces. La duplicación es importante y por eso requerimos tomar conciencia de qué es lo que queremos duplicar con nuestra gente. La primera persona que tiene que trabajar, que el buen líder promueve con el ejemplo, no con lo que habla. Las palabras no tienen tanto peso como las acciones. Así es que si tú empiezas a hacerlo con las acciones, vas a tener resultados. Si no, no va a haber nada, no va a haber crecimiento, te vas a mantener allí. En donde estás. Recuerda que tú eres el creador de tu destino. Eres la persona que puede desarrollar y hacer una red grande. Recuerda que esto es como las palomitas que metes al microwave. Es cuando la gente ve que tú lo estás haciendo, la gente lo va a hacer. Pero si tú no lo haces, si tú no eres el ejemplo, no va a pasar nada. La primera persona que requiere tener su mapa de los sueños eres tú, para que puedas inspirar a otras personas a que tengan sueños. De allí es donde nacen las redes grandes, de allí es donde nacen los líderes que llevan una trayectoria, porque empiezan a hacerlo desde el principio, trabajo en las personas, no lo que hablamos, no lo que decimos. Tú eres la primera persona que puede cambiar su mundo. Recuerda, no podemos cambiar el mundo de nadie, pero cuando nosotros somos un ejemplo, cuando nosotros hacemos lo que requerimos hacer, es importante que nosotros trabajemos de una manera constante para compartir lo que puede hacer grande a otros, el servir a los demás. Recuerda, ¿por qué vas a hacer esta empresa? Quizá en estos momentos ni siquiera tienes idea. se compran sus porqués, hacen o no hacen las cosas. Recuerda, todo lo que tú creas y le das poder, eso es. Pero en realidad, las personas que han dejado un legado en este planeta Tierra, para ellos su objetivo, con cansancio, con hijos, sin hijos, con lo que tengas que hacer, tú tienes un objetivo ya escrito y te mantienes firme. Cuando tú lo agregas a tu vida diaria en todos los sentidos, tú vas a empezar a darte cuenta que todo requiere números. Somos energía, señores. Somos números. Si nosotros, la ley de acción-reacción, si nosotros promovemos nuestra empresa, si nosotros hablamos de las historias de nuestra empresa, la reacción va a ser que la gente te va a escuchar, alguna gente se va a conectar con tu proyecto, alguna gente va a decir, ¿sabes qué? Yo quiero también eso. Si tú empiezas a tener cambios en tu estilo de vida, la gente dice, ¿sabes qué? Yo tengo trabajando tanto y no tengo resultados y realmente esta persona está haciendo eso, a pesar de que se burló la familia, a pesar de que le dije que no, está teniendo resultados tarde o temprano. Esas personas llegan a ti y te dicen, oye, dime cómo le haces, compárteme lo que tú estás haciendo. Por eso es importante que te promuevas, que si la gente te dice no sirves para esto, no lo vas a hacer, tú no te pongas a pelear, simplemente haz y mantén el círculo de las personas que piensan igual que tú. Acércate a los líderes de tu empresa. Acércate a los audios de tu empresa, acércate a esa gente que tiene lo que tú requieres, porque obviamente la comadre, ¿qué va a saber de esto? Te va a decir, no, en tal empresa sucedió eso. Te digo una cosa, es la peor tontería que tú te acerques a escuchar personas que no conocen esta industria. Y en esta industria hay personas que se desarrollan mucho. Te dejes de miedos, que te dejes de pereza y pongas acción, le pongas disciplina a tu objetivo y te aseguro que rango tras rango que haya en tu empresa, tú lo vas a ir logrando cuando te mantienes con un plan y cuando te lo haces sí o sí. La verdad, los amo, los quiero verte a ti en las estrellatos de tu empresa.
Hi everyone, so amazing to hear Ada. She's just a wonderful person. I love her message. She speaks from her heart. She has so many, like nobody else then. Woohoo, Sherry. So what I want to share with you, and maybe you don't know about her, is that she actually has 20 years experience in network marketing. She has a very interesting story she will share with you. But after network marketing, she actually became one of the world's most Robert Kiyosaki, Sir Richard Branson, Les Brown. We've actually been traveling around the world to change so many people's lives. And then Sherry wrote the book. She's actually a best-selling author of the book Why They Buy. And she actually studied people. And you know, Sherry shared with you her famous book, her favorite book, her book I Love More. And I think that's a beautiful message. And along the way, speaking on all those big stages, traveling the world, we suddenly got invited to actually speak at Harvard University, one of the major university in the United States. We spoke for Google. Everybody knows Google. We spoke for the United Nations. I say we because I'm good in the world and how to communicate better with people. So without further ado, here is the amazing Sherry Tree.
success tips. I'm going to encourage you to take a few notes. So let me take you back. I mentioned to Esther, one of my favorite books was the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, because this one absolutely changed my mind. And I remember learning one of the things Robert Kiyosaki said, because I always had a dream of being an entrepreneur. I knew I always wanted to be a millionaire. Why? Because being broke sucks. Like, no offense, I don't like it. I wanted to figure out how I could get access to wealth, right? And after reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he said, if you want to be really good in business, if you want to be a great entrepreneur, which network marketing is all about, you've got to be great in sales. He crushed it, like, boom! My first year income, I made $700. Okay, so you can tell I absolutely struggled. I had a really tough time. And one of the choices that you're gonna have when you're young in network marketing is whether or not you're gonna quit and just call it good, or are you gonna keep going and fail forward like we talked about. So I decided, you know, I had to get mentally tough, and I failed forward, and I kept going. And, you know, I studied as much as I possibly could. I remember I would read tons of books, and I listened to audio programs back when they were cassette tapes, if any of you remember those days of that you absolutely plug in. That's one of the secrets of success. And over a 5-year period, I did get my income up. I got my income up from $700 to $72,000. And I had a nice rank. I remember going on a few company trips. And, you know, the funny thing is, though, I didn't feel successful. Renting an apartment, couldn't qualify for a home, driving a salvage title BMW, playing the fake it till you make it game. So I don't know if you can relate to that. I literally remember parking down the street in front of, like, away from my clients' homes as I was going out there and trying to recruit them into my business. And I had to have a pack with the jumper cables because occasionally I got stranded and there was literally no one to give me a jump. That's how bad my car sucked. And so, you know, I was experiencing a lot of pain. And I remember Robert Kiyosaki shared this quote with me. He said, stop taking advice from people more messed up. And, you know, you're going to go through a phase where you don't have credibility, where no one's listening to you, where you're not, you know, putting numbers on the board, so to speak, and achieving the goals or the milestones that you've heard many of these leaders talking about. And what I realized along the way was that, you know, something is broken. I wasn't sure whether it was me that was broken or maybe it was the system. Something is broken. What I ended up figuring out was that there was actually something that was programming me and countless. Sales was a numbers game. What I was being told was that in order to get more yeses, I had to get more no's. And I bet you could fill in the blank with that because you've probably been told that too. Matter of fact, I was supposed to wake up every single day motivated to go for no. But I realized that that's actually not what I wanted to do. That was one of the craziest things I'd ever heard. Because the truth is, deep down in my heart, I didn't want to go for no. I wanted to go for yes. I wanted to figure out exactly how to get that yes. And so I spent time trying to figure out exactly how to get a yes. My favorite part is I went from working 60 to 80 hours a week down to 20 to 30. You know, the whole key to truly living life, what I believe true wealth, is not just having more money, it's actually having time plus money. Time plus money is what creates true wealth. And so as we're sitting here kind of peeling back the layers, I want to share with you something that's really important. If you want to make it to wealthy, if you're chasing your financial dreams and attempting to build a legacy, then I want to break it down and help you deconstruct what are those numbers. According to our government in the USA, 54% of people at age 65 are nowhere near financial independence. Matter of fact, they're deemed dependent upon our government, church, and family. That's not a very good financial outcome. Another 36% are still working. Walmart and McDonald's became some of the largest employers of senior citizens. Well, that's a shame, right? 5% are dead. Yikes. Like they kind of checked out financially a little bit early. Now, if you add all of that up, we're at 95%, okay? 95% of my country is totally screwed financially. 4% were on the path to financial independence. And I thought that was really amazing until I understood the government's definition of that. It means that you could live on somewhere between $3,000 and $4,000 a month. Eh? No. I've never met one person in network marketing that said, yes, that's the package for me. When you add all of that up, you're at 99%. What does that leave you? 1%. The wealthy 1%. The wealthy 1% have a net worth of $5 million US, $5 million or more. Marketing. Do this because you want to be wealthy. You want to be wealthy for you. You want to be wealthy for your family. You want to be wealthy to build and leave your legacy. So what I then did was study the wealthy 1%. Who are the wealthy 1%, and actually what are they doing to get there? And I want to share that with you so that you have a little bit of background. 1% of the 1% got lucky. They hit the lottery or got a big fat inheritance. I remember going to a party once. Some rich kids were there and they said, hey, are you a TFB? I'm like, what's a TFB? They're like, a trust fund, baby. I'm like, no. Okay, 5% are super salespeople, the type that can sell ice to Eskimos. Well, yeah, that's probably not you either. 10% are doctors and attorneys. Another 10% are CEOs and presidents of major. But here's the good news. 74% of the wealthy 1% are business owners and entrepreneurs. So why I am so passionate about network marketing, why I am so passionate about helping you succeed. I don't care if you're the single mom at home, if you're in your 20s, if you're in your 60s, like it doesn't matter. We're here for you. Why I wanted to participate here in the Growth Conference is because the top leaders of the world want to share their success nuggets with you. So one of my success nuggets that I wanted to share with you is to remember sales is not a numbers game. Fall in love with people, understand people, know exactly what makes them tick. My whole world changed. Getting the yes became the easiest thing I'd ever done. And as a matter of fact, as I trained it to my own team and taught them the science of exactly how to get a yes, my income went from $8,000 to $261,000. So I'm going to give you something to help kind of focus on. There's 4 key metrics that you want to focus on in your network marketing business. I call them the 4 R's. You want to maximize your business. You want to maximize your results. Focus on these 4 R's. R number 1, revenue. There's a lot of people out there that say, hey, when you join network marketing, you don't have to be good in sales. You just have to share. Sometimes I speak at network marketing conventions and I say, if that were true, this would be called the Direct Sharing Association, not the Direct Selling Association. See, I don't interest, no. Replace the word sales with influence. Replace the word sales with service. In your heart of hearts, are you representing a product, a service, or an opportunity that makes your customer's life better when they say yes? And if you can answer yes ethically and in integrity to that question, then the only failure is the failure to close the sale. The key is about getting yes and helping people move closer to their dreams. Why? For me, my why is I'm passionate about helping people make it to the 1% Club. Because the 99% Club want to close sales, you want to get yeses, and you do need to put numbers up on the board. The reason revenue is also important in network marketing is the average person, you heard Ted, 150 million distributors around the world, but 98% of them earn less than 500. People that's perfectly fine, awesome for them. But if you want more, and you need more, and you deserve more, if you want to put, your chance at 5 million, then you're going to have to get a lot more, and we want to help you be able to do that. Our number 2 is recruiting. The business of network marketing could have said, hey, we want to partner with Amazon. Hey, we want to partner with Costco. Hey, we want to partner with Alibaba. We want to partner with the biggest distribution hubs in the world. But they didn't. And God bless them, because they gave you and your family an opportunity. And they said, we're going to move this product through word of mouth marketing, through relationship marketing, through people just like you. There are millions of people all over the world that are on their bended knee at night praying to God for an opportunity, praying to God that they can get out of debt, buy their home, go on vacation, live the life of their dreams. And all you've got to do is find them and bring them in business with you, teach them, train them, and people in their lifetime. Well, that's not a very big distribution business, which is why it's not a very big revenue business for 98% of people. The third R that I want you focused on is rank. Rank is a leadership title. Rank is a reward for your volume of distribution of revenue and recruiting spread across your entire organization. As you start moving a lot more product volume through you and your team and your network, you achieve a rank. That rank is so important that I remember my dad, he was a military fighter pilot, he retired lieutenant colonel, and you wear your rank on your chest, on your shoulders, on your hat, on a sticker on the car. We couldn't even enter the military base unless our rank was rank is everything in your organization. And so you want to be able to make sure that not only are you achieving rank based on your revenue and recruiting, but that you're demonstrating and displaying leadership into your organization and helping others be able to drive revenue, helping others be able to drive recruiting, and multiply and duplicate yourself across that entire organization. When you focus on that, you can build an absolutely amazing, sustainable business long-term. Organizations worldwide, the average person in network marketing never achieves past their first given rank. What that means, my friend, is number 1, take care of you. And make sure that you're rank advancing. And then number 2, figure out exactly how to duplicate that type of success across your entire organization. I can promise you it'll be a lot easier if you can switch from sales mentality. And the reason is people come and go like a revolving door. Average person only stays in network marketing 90 days. That you want to be able to implement in your business to be able to help you do just that. The secret, again, I'm going to say it again, sales is not a numbers game, it's a people game. And you want to use the science of exactly how to get a yes instead of going for no. when you teach your organization how to go for yes and then show them how to actually get the yes, you'll change everything. Network marketing for me changed my entire life. And I got to tell you, you know, it hasn't always been easy. Esther was up here saying that I've been asked to speak all over the world, and that's true. I share stages with some of the biggest icons in the world. I remember speaking to an event promoter that books the top female speakers in the world, and she says, Sherry, you're one of the top 5 in the world. And I said, well, who else is in the top 5? They said, Michelle Obama, Oprah. I'm like, oh. And Sherry Tree was in that top 5. I want to help you be able to create success for you and your organization. I want to help you become indestructible in this business. I want to help you be able to measure and track your progress in the 4 R's and help you duplicate that. Help you and your organization drive more recruiting than ever before. Drive more ranks than ever before. Drive higher retention than ever before. Stop the bleeding. And what you will create is a business of massive passive income. You know, there's another side to my story that I want to share before I end, is that making millions is one thing and it's totally awesome, but there was a moment where I lost everything. I ended up losing everything, filing Chapter 7 bankruptcy and moving into a storage unit. The storage unit didn't have any running water. It certainly didn't have a toilet. I went to the local camp store and I got a 5-gallon bucket called a luggable loo. And I made that my toilet for the next 18 months. 18 months. I went to the gym and I got a membership so that I could shower on almost a daily basis. If you're going through struggles right now, keep going. All I can say is what happened to me during that time is I don't regret it. My family didn't even know it happened to me. Why? Because I didn't want to let them know that I failed and I fell really hard on my face. I was bleeding financially. But one of the best things that happened to me in that moment was I lost my attachment to money and I grew my attachment to people and to my purpose. My purpose for why I'm here, our company's entire mission statement is to connect and empower humanity. To connect and empower humanity. And friend, that's exactly what you are doing in your network marketing business. When you go out there every single day and you wear that badge of courage and you put on your armor shield and you say, I'm gonna take no prisoners and I'm not gonna take no for an answer and I'm gonna go for yes and I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna do it and do it and do it and do it and do it. And when I'm tired, I'm gonna do it some more. And that's gonna be the theme that you see of every single top of their ranks, the people who are maxing out the compensation plan, the people who actually have the shot at the Wealthy 1% Club are those that take action and get out there and do it. Now I want to introduce to you our next speaker who's going to be joining me right here on stage. This is a gentleman that comes from the good old state of Texas. He's married to a beautiful woman. He's been in network marketing. One of the #1 things that he's committed to, his quote saying is say increase. And I love that word. Yes, thank you guys. Say increase, okay? Stop thinking about it and get out there and start doing. This gentleman, this network marketing leader, this $1 million producer is getting ready to share with you the secrets of how to build a $1 million business from scratch. Okay, so it's my privilege to be able to share the stage with him. Please help me give a warm welcome to the amazing Johnny Wimbrey.
Hello, my name is Johnny Wimbrey. Thank you so much for this incredible opportunity. I know there are tens of thousands of people right now that are watching this live in multiple countries around the world. You are at the 2021 Virtual Business for Home Conference, and that's literally what I want to talk about right now. Perpetual success. He said it in his endorsement to me, creating perpetual success. What does that mean? How do you build an organization that just doesn't create a one-time success, but a residual, perpetual success? About to dive into right now. If you had to do it all over again, could you? Now, I've been in this industry for 20 years now. I joined the industry of home-based businesses when I was 25 years old back in the year 2000. I'm 45 years old as you're watching this right now. And since that date, not only have I built an organization that has expanded in over 100 countries around the world, a multiple billion-dollar organization, but I've had to start all over, not just once, again and again and again. Not meaning starting over with a new company, just starting over with new leadership, building a new team. Do you have what it takes to build something from scratch if you had to? And listen to me, my good friend, my mentor, Mr. Les Brown says this. He said, it's better to be prepared and never called than it is to be called and not prepared. So I want to prepare you for that call. If you are an entrepreneur, I want you to understand it's okay if you have to build it again. It's okay if you have to get back in, the driver's seat and again. And I want you to create that mindset. Listen, this is the network marketing industry. We build organizations, we build people, we build brands, but more importantly, we build character. Do you have the character to build from scratch? Now, this message is designed for those individuals who are at the top and anybody else who wants to get there. And I hope that you're that type of person that you can program yourself and you can subscribe to the mindset that this is for you. When you see multi-million-dollar stories walking across the stage in your company, I want you to visualize if they can do it, then I can do it too. How do I know that? Listen, I don't come from a lifestyle of wealth. My earliest memory of life was living in a battered women's shelter. I was homeless. I was raised around gangs and violence and drugs my entire youth. As a matter of fact, as a teenager, I had a felony arrest. Now, I don't know what country you're in, but in the United States, when you have a felony arrest, that goes on your record. I couldn't get a regular job at American Airlines. UPS told me no. So many companies said, hey, we love you. You have a great personality, but you've been arrested, so you can't represent our company. That happened to me when I was a teenager. And now I'm moving in. You understand right now that your past doesn't have to determine your future. Where you come from, it doesn't have to dictate where you're going. And that's who I want to talk to. That giant that's inside of you right now that can tap into the mindset that, listen, maybe I had a bad year in the year 2020. Maybe I had to start all over in the year 2020. Maybe 2020 absolutely kicked my ass. Welcome to the club. It kicked my ass too. But you know what it did more than that? It woke up something inside me. One of my favorite quotes is, adversity causes some people to break, but it causes others to become record breakers. That is a quote by William Ward. I'm going to say it again. Adversity causes some people to break, but it causes others to become record breakers. Now listen, in your business, you're going to have those moments where you feel like giving up, where you feel like breaking opportunity in this industry. That's not necessarily you giving up. That's not necessarily you breaking. Breaking is saying this industry is not for me. Entrepreneurialism is not for me. That's breaking. But walking away from something to build something greater, that's not you breaking. That's not you giving up. That's you being empowered from the inside out based on your character, who you are. What do you do when your leaders aren't watching? What are you watching? What are you entertaining the most when your company leaders aren't around. Well, that's who you are. And I want you to think about that. How much longer do you want to have that problem? How much longer do you want to have the problem of not being the leader that you would want to follow? And I know that hurts, right? And you know what? It's okay. You can't learn how to swim in shallow waters. So I'm going to push you into the deep. You say, well, Johnny is a great motivational speaker. I thought he was going to be motivating. Listen, iron sharpens iron. Right now, I want to talk about the character of what it takes to rebuild a $1 million organization again and again and again. Even if it's in the same company, even if it's in the same organization, could you muster up everything inside you with the mindset that you have to start all over from scratch? I've been doing this for 20 years. For 20 years, I go through seasons of what I call 90-day blitz. And my 90-day blitz, that's me starting from scratch. Zero organization, and I'm starting from scratch. Even when I was making multiple six figures a month, I still would go into the mindset of building from scratch, zero individuals, zero customers in my organization. What does it take to do that? And let's jump into the whole purpose of the training right now. The first topic that I want to talk about is value. Your personal value. If you don't understand your personal value, and this is coming directly from my new book, if you don't understand your personal value, you will never build a multi-million-dollar business. Not only will you never be able to do it again, you won't be able to do it once. Why? Because you have to know who you are. You have to know what you bring to the table. You have to understand people will see the value in you based on the value that you see in yourself. So right now, I'm holding up a United States 100 US dollar bill. 100 US dollars right here. So if I ask you, and this is something that I taught youth, probably about 20 years ago was the first time I taught this message. And I'm talking to the youth that are the kids of $1 million leaders. And I'm speaking to their kids in a breakout session. And I'm going to talk to you exactly the same way I talk to them. Why? Because character is character. And I'm going to wake up that sleeping giant that's inside you right now that I know that's living. This $100 bill, when I asked the kids, how much is this worth? Every kid in there said, Mr. Johnny, it's worth $100. And I asked them, so you're telling me right now that this piece of paper, the value of this piece of paper is $100. And they said, yes, Mr. Johnny. And I said, okay, it's worth $100. When I fold it in half, now how much is it worth? Mr. Johnny, it's still worth $100. And I asked the kids, listen, so you tell me that and now that I fold it in half and you can only see 50% of it now, you're telling me that it's still worth $100? Mr. Johnny, stop being silly. It's still $100. And I say, okay, kids, what if I fold it again? And now it's a quarter of what you saw when I first, to 1/4 of the size of what it was. Now how much is it worth? Mr. Johnny, it's still worth $100. So hold on. So you're telling me even if I fold it again, how much is it worth? Mr. Johnny, it's worth $100. Listen to me. I folded it down to the point where you can barely see it. How much is it worth? Mr. Johnny, it's still worth $100. What if I crumble it up? What if I disrespect it? What if I throw it on the ground? Now what is it worth? Mr. Johnny, it's still worth $100. So regardless of what I do to this piece of paper, as long as it stays intact, if I $100 bill up, how much is it worth now that it's been wet that has been at the bottom of the dirt, that has been crumbled up, it's been thrown to the ground, it's been disrespected. Now how much is it worth? Mr. Johnny, it's still worth $100. So if the value of this piece of paper never changed, regardless, want to be able to build a massive organization, you have to understand your value. Never have more value in a man-made object than you do as you have value in yourself that's a God-made object. Man-made, God-made. Never. You're going to be folded again. You're going to be diminished in size in some shape, form, or fashion. Someone's going to tell you no. And you feel like you've been folded. Somebody's going to say, it won't work, and those words alone will fold you. They say that you can always judge the size of a person's takes to overcome them. So when somebody says, no, it doesn't work, boom, you just got folded with a no. When someone says, you're stupid for joining this industry, now you've been double folded. When somebody says, you're a part of a scam, I don't want anything else to do with you, I thought you were a good person, now you've been thrown to the ground. And rocks and everything, and you just can't see through the murky water. And now you're starting to question your own personal value because the people that you thought who would say yes said no. And I am telling you that the exact same person who said yes to this industry, that giant inside you, the day that you joined this industry, that value is still there. Just like the value is in a $100 bill or any currency. Regardless of what you do to it, as long as it stays intact and it stays one piece, just like you are still one piece, you may feel like you've been folded. But I'm telling you, your value is still there. You will never be able to build a multi-million-dollar organization if you don't understand your personal value. And I'm telling you right now, if you don't see the value in who you are and what you bring to the table, I question your success in this industry. And you may say, Johnny, well, how do I get back to understand, create this character and this confidence from the inside out, that when I talk to people about my business, about my product, I am talking with a level of certainty, I'm talking with a level of confidence that comes from character, and your character is 100% attached to how you see your own personal value. If you can fold money up, if you can crumble it up, if you can throw it to the ground, if you can find a $20 bill that's been sitting on the ground for 3 years and you find it, guess what it's worth? $20. Some of you have been on the ground for days, months. Some of you are questioning yourself because of 2020. Listen, 2020 happened to all of us. And they say 2020 was the year of vision. Trust me when I say I can see clearer now. I can see clearer today than I could see on January the 1st of 2020. But I had to focus on my personal value. See, you were born to win, and you got to understand that winner lives within you right now. So the first thing is value. Do you understand your value? Now I want to talk about faith. Value is you know who you are, you know what you bring to the table. Faith is, listen, I'm going to get up today and I'm going to walk through doors. I'm going to make these calls. I have faith that something is going to happen. Who is none of my business. When is none of my business. Where is none of my business. How is none of my business. It's only my business to get into action. Do you have that kind of faith? Like the faith that you have in a chair. Now, some of you are sitting in a chair right now. man-made object. You are a God-made object. Why would you have more faith in a man-made object when you are a God-made object? I dare you to have the exact same amount of faith that you have in yourself as you do in the chair that you're sitting in right now. That's what it takes to have the character to build and rebuild a multi-million-dollar organization. People ask me all the time, Johnny, how do you do it? What's different about you? You've made millions upon millions upon millions of dollars in this industry. You've helped create and develop over $40 million earners in your organization. How did you do that, Johnny? What's the difference? You've got to have faith in who you are and what you bring to the table. You have to understand your own personal value. And the third thing is just as important as the first two. You got to be committed. You got to be committed to the commitment. And I'm going to give you an analogy as I close. But this analogy, I promise you, and it's straight from my new book, Building a Millionaire Mindset. But this analogy that I'm about to give you, when I heard this for the first time, it changed my life forever. And I was in my early 20s. I want you to have the same commitment of a vending machine. I was like, okay, oh, Johnny's lost his mind. What is he talking about? Imagine a vending machine. I don't care if it's coffee, chips, candy bars, soda. It doesn't matter. Machine. And let's say that you want to get a drink out of the vending machine. And let's say the drink, for simple terms, is $1 US. So it costs $1 US to get this drink out of the machine. But let's just say you walk up to that vending machine and you negotiate. And you say, you know what? I'm not really feeling 100% of this soda. I just want to get 50%. So I'm just going to put 50 cents in instead of $1 full. Do you think that vending machine is going to say, okay, no problem, we'll give you half of your drink? No, you got to put 100% in. You have to commit to the vending machine. You can't walk up to a vending machine and negotiate for half a bag of peanuts for half the cost. You've got to be fully committed and go 100% in. So here's my question. Do you have the commitment to give 100%? Wayne Gretzky said this. He said 100% of every shot that it was never taken, it never went in. Well, Johnny, what is taking another shot? It's calling somebody. It's meeting new people. As a matter of fact, the common denominator of all success common denominator, there's one thing that is similar in every single one of them. One thing and one thing only. In every bit of success that can be traced back to Adam and Eve, companies merging, it doesn't matter. One thing in common, an introduction. Somebody met somebody and a business started. Somebody met somebody and a baby was born. Someone met someone that led to an acquisition or a merger or starting a business. Who are you meeting? If you're not meeting new people, if the common denominator of all success on our planet is an introduction, who did you meet in the last 24 hours? I dare you to be committed to meet two new people every single day. 2 new people every single day starting right now. Not to recruit them, not to sell them anything, just meet 2 new people every single day. Commit to that, and I promise you, the natural progress of building a multi-million-dollar organization will soon kick in. Why? Because you're expanding your touch, you're expanding your reach to individuals around the world, because now you're challenging yourself above and beyond just building your business, above and beyond selling your products, above and beyond not missing trainings, meeting 2 new people, not to recruit them, but to just genuinely meet 2 new people every single day. If you can commit to that, I'm talking to somebody who has the character to build a multi-million-dollar business in this industry. So let's recap. The first thing is this. I want you to have an understanding, an appreciation of your personal value. We talked about the dollar bill. You can fold it, you can crumble it up, you can bury it for 20 years. But when somebody else finds it, that value is still going to be there. And just like the value stays in this man-made object, more value is inside that God-made object. Yes, I know people who have told you no. Yes, I understand they said it wouldn't work. Yes, I said, I understand that they're telling you, you should give up. And every single time you hear that, it's taking a little bit of your value away. And listen to me. The only reason that you will allow somebody else's no to dictate your value is because you let it happen inside you. Everything that happens to us was never designed to happen in us. Someone's no should never make it inside you. When you allow somebody else's no to get inside you, it decreases your value. They didn't take it from you, you gave it to them. And just like you can't take the value away from $100 if it stays in one tack, don't allow anybody to take your value from you. And a better way of saying it, don't give anybody your value. And the second thing is, I want you to have faith in you. Have faith in who you are and what you bring to the table. When you sit in a chair, and I want you to visualize this, when you go sit down in a chair, when's the last time you checked to make sure that the legs would work, to make sure the cushion was there? You don't, neither do I. We just sit down because we naturally understand that that chair is there to protect us. Again, a man-made object. Never have more faith in a man-made object than you do yourself, which is a God-made object. And the third thing is commitment. You can't negotiate with life. Just like you can't negotiate with the vending machine. You cannot walk up to a vending machine and negotiate a discount. Stop negotiating with life and discounting yourself. You've got to be committed. New practices on a daily basis. And one of the things that I want you to practice right now, be committed to meeting 2 new people every single day for the rest of your life. I don't care if it's on social media. I don't care if it's in person. Listen, 2020 went wrong. But my mentor, Les Brown, says, when things go wrong, you don't go with them. Many of you went wrong in 2020. And I'm inviting you back. I'm inviting you back because your value is still there. It's still there. The faith that you can have in yourself, you can turn it on right now with the snap of a finger. There's no preparation. You don't have to prepare to have faith in yourself. You just gotta do it. And the third thing is, you gotta be committed. You gotta be committed to the process of whatever it takes to build a multi-million-dollar organization. You can't negotiate with life. Those days are over. What I want you to do right now is understand. Commit being 2 new people every single day and watch what happens. Jay-Z says it best. He said, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. If you meet 2 new people every single day for 360 days of a year, those numbers will work in your favor. It just has to happen. Numbers don't lie. Get the numbers in your corner, build your value, build your faith, and be committed to the process. Thank you so much for having me to be a part. God bless.
Congratulations, Johnny. You just absolutely crushed it. It's an honor sharing the stage with you, my friend. You're in it. Millionaire, not for the money, but because of who you become as you become a millionaire. And you've seen that from so many of our speakers. They are absolutely incredible people. Now, we've got something that's incredible that's about to happen. And before we go to break, you're gonna notice something. I'm holding up a bag here. I don't know if you can zoom in on this, that says fresh fish. And we're basically right here in the, which is raw fish. And I wanna show you guys, like, it's probably one of the most disgusting, horrible things you could probably ever imagine. And it's not easy to choke down, just like building your business, just like getting rejection, just like getting no's. And I've asked Esther if she would participate with me, because people can't believe that the locals actually eat this. I want you to use our hashtag BFH, Business for Home, hashtag BFH 2021. Get out there and post some social media. Have a quick break, go to the bathroom, get a drink, come back here. We've got another amazing series of lineup, incredible speakers, millionaires that are absolutely, see, look, you gotta finish it before I can go to break. Like, choke that thing down. You know, Brian Tracy talks about eat that frog. Great job, and don't high five me because I don't want to stink. Ew. Anyway, the point is you can do it, guys. Get out there and crush it. We'll see you in 15.